So do you have a trip to Phuket, Thailand planned, or are you considering planning a trip to Phuket, Thailand? Well, stick around and I'll give you my top 5 tips to consider when making that vacation to make sure you have an awesome time. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Traveling Fool. Today I'm going to give you my top 5 tips to make sure you have an awesome vacation in Phuket, Thailand. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So tip number 1, make sure you have an unlocked phone. Why I say that is because when you get there, you're going to want to get a SIM card, and you can't put a SIM card into some of these locked phones, especially in America. So make sure that before you leave, you either talk to your carrier to get them to unlock the phone for you, or you have a phone that's already been unlocked. And when you get there, it's going to be super easy. There's a ton of different ways to do it, and there's a ton of videos online on how to do how to get a SIM card and how to get your phone turned on. So I'm not going to go into it, but essentially, any airport, almost convenience stores, anywhere you go, you can get a SIM card. You can pop it in and then turn on your phone and use it internationally, and that's definitely critical. You definitely want to make sure you have that access to Wi-Fi. When I first went to Phuket, I didn't, and I was limited to Wi-Fi locations only. Hotels, restaurants, bars, what have you. Sometimes it was very difficult because the service wasn't that good, and I'd actually have to wander around to find Wi-Fi so I could get in touch with folks back home, check email, that kind of stuff. The second time I went, bought a SIM card, and it was perfect. It had no problems. I could use it almost everywhere, and it was super convenient. So definitely make sure you have that unlocked phone. Second, make sure you have a backup way to get to the internet. And what I mean by that is you're going to have your phone, so you're going to get that turned on and you have a SIM card installed. But make sure you bring like a tablet or something that you can access. It doesn't have to have 4G or anything like that. You just access it for Wi-Fi at the hotel. And the reason I say that is something happens to your phone, you're kind of really SOL. And you're really going to be limited on what you can and can't do when you get a replacement phone and try to turn everything back on again. So what you want is bring a tablet, make sure your tablet is synced to your phone in terms of all of the same apps, all of your passwords are updated and correct, and you can access everything. I actually lost my phone when I was on vacation, and having that tablet was a lifesaver because I could still go into all of the apps and I could still make hotel reservations, I could still make flight reservations, I could still check email, I could still work my bank cards. And then when I got my replacement phone, it came in very handy because I could access and authorize my new phone via the apps on my tablet. So if all you have is just a brand new phone, because remember, it's going to have an international phone number in it if you have to put a new SIM card in a phone that you buy overseas. So you could use that phone once you get back to America and get your old phone number turned back on again, but in the meanwhile, a lot of those apps don't know who you are because you're a brand new phone and a brand new phone number, and you're trying to access these things, and some of their security programs don't let you get in without getting a text message sent to you or getting an email sent to you or some other mechanism to validate that you are who you say you are. So definitely backup plan to the internet. That's your number 2. Number 3, figure out what you're going to do with credit cards and ATM machines and ATM cards. I traveled with an ATM card and a credit card. I had a second credit card that I didn't even bring with me that was automatically tied into the account and the app that I used to book hotels. So I didn't bring that card with me, but I could use it just when I was booking the hotels. I had one credit card that I used for basically just as an emergency purchases, and then I had an ATM card that I used only for withdrawals. And when you've got those cards and you figure out which card you're going to bring, make sure that you have an app on your phone as well as your tablet that controls those cards. Specifically, you want to be able to go in and you want to put in travel notices on those cards so they know, the banks know that you're going to be overseas. And 2, you want to make sure that you can actually control those, turn those cards on and off, lock them, deactivate them, whatever it's called on your respective app. You want to be able to keep those cards turned off until you need them and then turn them on. And that's how I traveled pretty much the entire time. If I knew I was going to take money out of the bank, I'd pull out my ATM card. I'd go onto the ATM app I have on my phone. I'd activate the card, give it a couple of minutes, and then I'd go and pull money out of the ATM, and everything was fine. Get back to the hotel, put the money in the safe, put the ATM card back in the safe, pull out the app on my phone, and lock the card so it can't be used. Same with a credit card. If I needed to make a purchase, I turn the card on, make the purchase, lock the card, and put it back in the safe. That way you know that there's going to be no unauthorized charges, and it's peace of mind that you know where the card is and you know it can't be used. Number 4, what I did is I traveled and I booked kind of as you go, and I used a booking site called agoda.com. And full disclosure, I am not an affiliate. I'm not getting paid for this advertisement. I don't get any money off of anybody. If you click through Agoda, you're going to just get your Agoda. I know there's a lot of affiliate websites out there. I don't have one. But I chose Agoda because it had a good selection of hotels and the prices seemed pretty reasonable. So what I did, like I said earlier, I set up a credit card. I tied it to the Agoda app on both my phone as well as my tablet. And then I left that credit card home. I didn't even bring it. And what I did is I kind of booked as you go. And I sort of, went 3 or 4 days. I'd stay at a hotel, and then I'd book another hotel for 3 or 4 days. And the reason I did that is, one, because I wanted to be able to move around, and I didn't want to lock myself into one place for the entire vacation, because I knew I was going to see different things, and I was going to say, hey, let's try out this place. Here's a different beach I want to go to. Instead of having to take a taxi or take a bus every day to that beach or that area just to hang out at, I could say, well, why don't I just get a hotel up here and stay up here for a couple of days, and then when I'm, all set there, I can move to a different location, so I could kind of bounce around. The other benefit, and I don't know if this pertains to other apps, but with Agoda, as you book your hotels through Agoda and you complete your stays, you get a little credit back from them, sort of a thank you credit for using the app to book your hotels. So as you get those credits, you can roll those credits towards your next booking. So you actually kind of can get a little bit cheaper rate than what actually shows up on Agoda, because you've got a couple of bucks saved up as a credit from your last booking. So if you book your whole place all at once, sure, you'll get that credit if you use Agoda, but you'll get it after you go home, and then maybe you won't be able to use it because you're already home back to work. So if you kind of book as you go, you get a little bit of a credit, every couple of days. Use that towards your next booking. Makes it a little bit cheaper. Yes, you'll have a little bit at the very end that you probably won't be able to use, but it's not going to be as big as it had you just booked everything all at once. And my number 5 tip is going to be specifically with Thailand. Bring lightweight clothes. And in Phuket, for sure, it's going to be warm all the time. It's a tropical destination. You're pretty close to the equator. So look for artificial fabrics. Don't go cotton. Once cotton gets wet, either from sweat or rain, it stays wet. If you get the nylon shirts or the nylon pants, those dry super quick. Plus, they're super lightweight. They don't weigh a lot, so you're traveling with less weight. Anywhere you go in Thailand, everywhere in Phuket, all of the towns in Phuket, there's laundry facilities everywhere. You just drop off your laundry, put your laundry, dirty clothes in a bag, take it to some places. Sometimes it's just a little kiosk. It's a travel kiosk that does laundry service. Some of them actually have a little laundry shop on the side of the road. Drop your stuff off. Typically, it's anywhere from 50 to 60 baht to get it washed and folded, and it's next day service. So just you drop off a couple pairs of pants, a couple of shirts, and they're ready to go the next day. So look for nylon clothes, nylon t-shirts, super lightweight. Pants, you really don't need pants, but if you want to bring some, look for the nylon pants. I actually had a pair of Columbias. You can actually unzip the legs to turn them into shorts. So as soon as I got off the plane, I took the legs off, and those worked out really well. Also flip-flops, you're going to wear those a lot, so definitely don't worry about bringing a lot of shoes, and maybe just a couple pairs of socks. So I actually traveled with a backpack for a month in Thailand, and it was more than enough clothes. You just go a couple of days, wash your stuff, a couple of days, wash your stuff, and it worked out really well. So those are my 5 top tips for making sure you have an awesome vacation. Again, just to recap, number 1, unlocked phone for a SIM card that you're going to put into your phone so you have access to the internet. Number 2, a backup plan to get to the internet. Have your phone, have a tablet. Number 3, make sure you know what you're doing with your credit cards and your ATM cards, and make sure you have apps on your phone and your tablet to turn those credit cards and debit cards on or off as you use them. Keep them locked when not in use. Put them in the safe and turn them off. Number 4, book as you go. Don't book all at once, and you'll get a little bit of credit along the way, and you'll have the flexibility of being able to bounce around to different locations, see different parts of the island, different parts of the country, as the case may be. And lastly, bring lightweight clothes, because you don't need a lot of warm clothes. You don't need any warm clothes. It's Thailand. You're about this far from the equator, especially in Phuket. So wear lightweight clothes, and don't bring cotton clothes because they just don't work. So hopefully those tips help you as you're making plans to go to Thailand. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments below. I check everything and I always respond to any questions or comments. And also, if you enjoyed the video or if you like my channel, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It helps out a lot. And consider subscribing. Until next time, I'm the Traveling Fool. Hope you have a great day. Take care.